24-hour laundromat basket 12, promise in the pocket. The 24-hour laundromat on Brook and Fifth wears its light like a modestif, bright enough to matter, small enough to forgive. At 1:18 a.m. the automatic door stuttered and let me in, and I realized I had walked the whole way with my phone turned face down in my palm like a coin I wasn't ready to spend. I didn't bring a bag. I brought a hoodie that still smelled like our apartment, and a sentence I couldn't yet say in our kitchen. Back home, Jamie had said, "Can we talk tomorrow?" in the voice that means please stay now. Our couch is good at pretending to be a witness stand. The longer we sit at opposite ends, the more it bangs an invisible gavel. I left before we took oaths neither of us would honor. Halfway down the stairs, my screen lit up with a message from L. Live on the org chart, L in the way I label hazards so they look smaller. Rooftop, just talk. Roofs specialize in forgiveness nobody has to live with. I didn't open the text. The left pocket received it like a sealed envelope. A string of washers hugged one wall. A row of dryers blinked like tired lighthouses on the other. A TV in the corner showed a late baseball game with the sound off, and the captions ran a sentence behind as if the night were editing. A kid in a reflective vest swept the floor in patient diagonals. A woman folded towels the way people fold good news, deliberate, quiet, certain it will be needed again. My name is Nathan. By day I fix other people's sentences. By night I try not to weaponize mine. Jamie and I have a code that works when we remember it. T means come here, you awake. Means I'm scared. Tomorrow means not yet but don't go far. Liv returned to our team last month with files so neat my hesitation started dressing like style. She didn't ask for anything. That's how I started bringing her everything. A sign above the coin changer said exact change only, which felt on the nose. I fed quarters to basket 12 because the numbers on that machine still looked brave. I didn't bring laundry. I brought a dish towel from the oven door and the hoodie I hadn't stopped smelling since I left. The machine swallowed both like a priest who had heard confessions worse than this. You washing or auditioning? A voice asked. I turned. A man about my age in a navy crewneck stood by the soap dispenser, palms white with powder. His name tag said Ray, Overnights. You've been timing the spin cycle with your eyelids, he said. We charge by the minute for that kind of romance. I'm reconsidering the idea of clean, I said. Not sure soap can fix what soap didn't break. Soap is humble, he said. It won't take credit for your plot, but it will hold your place. He rapped the side of basket 12 with his knuckles as if knocking on a door. We keep a lost and found for sentences, he added, nodding at the corkboard near the vending machine. It was studded with pinholes and folded scraps. A paper cup dangled from a pushpin like a small altar. Take one if you need it, he said. Leave one if you don't. I pulled a scrap that read check pressure before speed. Another said ask before summarizing ME. I left stop at the shoulder, not the ditch, and tucked it under the pushpin, like a polite dare to daylight. Ray shook soap into a cap. 3-word limit, he said, holding up a sheet of receipt paper like a referee with a flag. Write why you're here, back of the receipt. Put it in your left pocket. Pockets are slow students. They pass if you test them every morning. 3 words is cruel, I said. That's why it works, he said. The dryers can't handle speeches. On the receipt I wrote, proud at breakfast. Under it, smaller, touch before arguing. The ink stuttered and then settled into letters that looked like they could stand by themselves. Good, Ray said. Now if basket 12 tries to recruit you for a glamorous rinse, you can decline with context. He poured his cap into the tray with the calm of a man who has decided powder is a useful metaphor and won't push it. My phone buzzed. Already on the roof, Liv wrote, attaching a picture of a skyline that would never meet our kettle. I replied, "Not tonight or tomorrow. I'd like to be proud of breakfast." I put the phone away and let the left pocket keep custody. "What do you do when people cry?" I asked, because the woman folding towels had paused like someone who had run out of hands. "I keep my eyes," Ray said. "Unless they look at me, then I hand them water. Kindness is often not interrupting." He handed me a paper cup he'd rescued from under the corkboard. "Sometimes it's interrupting yourself." He looked at basket 12, then at me. "Fix the obvious. Label what you can't. Tighten to spec, not to ego. We hang that over the breaker box so the building remembers how to be a person." Basket 12 started its spin with the relief of a train choosing the right track. The towel I'd thrown and pinned itself to the glass and then let go, as if modeling bravery. I sat on the orange bench and let the hum of machines write a gentler draft of me. "Do you live with someone who trusts kettles?" Ray asked. "He beats the argument to the boil," I said, "and I keep insisting the reason set the timer." "Timers are for ovens," he said. "Kettles are for mercy." He reached into the lost and found jar and pulled out a little lemon-shaped magnet like the ones diners give away if you agree to believe. "Promotional item," he said. "For your fridge. Cold helps letters behave." An older man with a shopping bag came in and stood at the coin changer counting breath instead of quarters. Ray slid him 2 tokens without comment. The man nodded, not at Ray so much as at the policy of the place. When the spin ended, I pulled the hoodie out. It smelled like heat and the absence of smoke. I folded it clumsily, the way a person folds an apology he isn't good at yet. Ray loaded his own baskets into a dryer. "House rules," he said, pointing to a laminated sheet taped to the wall. It listed instructions: do not overload, clean lint trap, no dye. Beneath, in a different hand, someone had written, "T now, REASONS later." He smirked. "The night crew edits," he said. I paid for 10 minutes of dryer time I didn't need and sat with my elbows on my knees like a person waiting for a verdict he hopes is mostly paperwork. The kid in the vest swept past and left behind a line as straight as a promise. The captioned baseball game said safe when no one was watching. When I got home, the fridge hummed the way machines hum when they've decided to believe you. Jamie was sitting on the floor with his back against the door, sleeves pushed up, one ankle on the other. The posture manuals use when they draw people about to fix things. He didn't say, "Where were you?" He tilted his head. A question mark turned polite. "Laundromat," I said. I smoothed the receipt on the door and let the lemon hold it. "Do you want to ask me the real question?" He exhaled, then inhaled like someone who had read a laminated sheet that morning. "Are you lonely?" "Some nights," I said. "Not now, not when you ask first, not when the kettle outruns the reasons." I lifted his hand and set it on my forearm the way he does when he's checking whether I'm inventing weather. He rubbed his thumb once, a calibration. "I feel useful," he said. "I want to be wanted before I'm useful." "Tonight's procedure," I said. "Touch first, argue second, report later." We sat until the kettle's blunt kindness announced itself. We poured water over mint and called it dinner because sometimes labels help. The hoodie on my lap kept the shape of a person who had a better version of me inside it and was waiting for me to be braver. I told him about Ray and the jar of sentences, about the corkboard and the laminated commandments, about the 3-word test in the left pocket, proud at breakfast, touch before arguing. I told him I had texted Liv that she was a handsome roof in a neighborhood that needed kitchens. He smiled the kind of smile that knows bridges and thanks them. Jamie took the dry erase marker from the cup by the fridge and wrote under the lemon, "Tomorrow, keep the torque." He grinned at himself. The lemon looked like a tiny citrus seal informed of its responsibilities. We made a tiny ritual. When prosecution tried to wear a bathrobe, one of us said basket 12 and we paused. We kept responses to 5 words on the whiteboard. T now, REASONS later. Ask, don't summarize me. No litigation tonight. I snapped a photo of the lemon and the receipt for the laundromat's overnight email. Ray had scrawled it on the back of a detergent coupon and got back an image of a post-it on a steel panel. Titan 2 spec, not to ego. I printed it small and slid it under the magnet. I am not proud of how much authority cold appliances have over my behavior. I am grateful. In the days that followed, the napkin in my pocket, no, the receipt. The night had edited me, wrinkled into the shape of my left hand. Paper learns its carriers. When it gave up, I wrote the same words on the back of a grocery slip and stapled the old to the new like genealogy. We ate toast like it was a new technology. We weren't trying to be good. We were trying to be located. A week later, when afternoon tried to be a test, I walked back to the laundromat and bought no time. I left a bottle of water on the vending machine with a note, for whoever is waiting for a sister. The jar of sentences had multiplied. Turn toward your name. Check pressure before speed. Warm hands before reason. I took none. Minimalism seemed like the correct theology. When I got home, Jamie had angled the table so we could both look out the window without interrogating the weather. He had set out 2 mugs and a lemon like an altar to simple chemistry. Status, he asked. On board, I said, hands attached. We failed, and we failed differently, and we failed in ways that didn't require anyone to stand in front of a washer pretending they knew which setting would save them. The lemon kept watch and did not pretend to be a compass. The fridge hummed like a machine content with its job description. If tomorrow I stumble, and I will, this town sells the same receipt roll to everyone. I know the route. Stop at the shoulder, not the ditch. Read the pocket, not the skyline. Ask the question that costs pride and saves time. Pay for the return with a short sentence. Go home by the simple route. Being first has never impressed a kettle, a magnet, or a mouth burned by tea. Arriving with hands still does. The laundromat hums wherever it hums at that hour. Basket 12 keeps being ridiculous and useful. The jar keeps its scraps. Under the lemon, the receipt keeps pretending to be stronger than it is and, most nights, manages it. Some nights that counts as a miracle. Some mornings it counts as breakfast.